Good evening. At this time, I would like to call the regular village board meeting to order. Let the record reflect that it's Tuesday, May 19th, 2020 at 7:32 p.m. Good evening, everyone, and thank you in advance for your patience and cooperation through tonight's village board meeting, which is being conveyed remotely via GoToMeeting. This open meeting of the Village of Tinley Park is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Pritzker's Executive Order 2020-07 issued on March 16, 2020, which suspends the Open Meetings Act provisions relating to in-person attendance by members of the public body. Specifically, the Governor's Order 1 suspends the requirement in Section 2.01 that members of a public body must be physically present, and 2, suspends the limitations in Section 7 on when remote participation is allowed. On April 30, 2020, Executive Order 2020-33 reissued Executive Order 2020-07. In order to mitigate the transmission of the virus and reduce risk of COVID-19 illness, Executive Order 2020-07 furthermore encourages public bodies to postpone public business when possible. Therefore, tonight's agenda has been kept to a minimum. The Open Meetings Act requires public bodies to allow for public comment. This meeting will feature public comment. Details regarding temporary public participation rules and procedures can be found on the village website. Even if members of the public do not provide comment, participants are advised that people may be listening who do not provide comment, and those persons are not required to identify themselves. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by web/audio conference. All of the materials for this meeting are available on the village website, and we recommend the members and the public to follow along the agenda as posted. After all the members have spoken, I will forward public comment as follows. 1, the public was provided the opportunity to submit comments until noon today by emailing their public comment to the clerk's office or by placing their written comment in a drop box at Village Hall. And 2, the public was also provided the opportunity to submit a request until noon today, or again by placing into a drop box at Village Hall to participate publicly via a live telephone call at the relevant portion of the public meeting. Finally, each vote taken this evening will be conducted via a roll call vote. At this time, if we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Here.
Trustee Brady.
Here.
Trustee Brennan.
Present.
Trustee Galante.
Here.
Trustee Glatz.
Present.
Trustee Mueller.
Here.
President Vandenberg.
Here, thank you. At this time, I'd ask for a motion to consider adopting a temporary public participation rule and procedures for the agenda. Is there such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that motion.
Is there a second? Moved and seconded. Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you. Item number 1, consider approval of the agenda. Is there such a motion?
I make
Is
the
there a
motion.
motion to consider the agenda this evening?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second the motion.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes. Motion will carry. Thank you. Item number 2. This time I'd ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the special village board meeting that was held on May 5th, 2020. Is there such a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the special board meeting on May 5th, 2020.
I'll second the motion.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes. Motion will carry. Thank you. Item number 3, Trustee Brady.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-051, seeking consideration of localized or EMS region approach to reopen businesses and resume civic activity.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
that motion.
Thank you. Continue, Trustee Brady.
Thank you. Between March 9th and April 28th, the governor has issued 29 executive orders related to the COVID-19 pandemic, which contains numerous mandates intended to protect public health, including closing all non-essential businesses and ordering residents to stay at home. While it is undeniable that the stay-at-home order has had a positive effect on reducing the number of cases of individuals contracting, COVID-19 and deaths in the state of Illinois, it is equally undeniable that the stay-at-home order has had a devastating financial impact on businesses and residents of the state of Illinois and the village of Tinley Park. The Tinley Park Village Board is recommending and encouraging the state to allow for an EMS region-based approach to reopening, which would provide authority to answer the needs of residents and businesses directly. Furthermore, instead of a 28-day timeline period, the board is asking the General Assembly to consider a 14-day period for each EMS region to move on to the next phase of reopening. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Trustee Brady. Are there any comments from the board?
Jake, I'd just like to ask a quick question for Attorney O'Grady. The passage of this resolution isn't going to impact any of the matters related to our village insurance, correct?
No, we're just encouraging the change of the regions.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you, Trustee Brennan. That was a good question. And again, I'd reiterate that this is just a suggestion that we're making to the General Assembly. This is not anything procedurally that we're doing in Tinley Park. Any other comments from the board regarding item 3? Request to speak telephonically received today regarding item 3.
There was no request for public comments today on this.
Thank you, Counselor. There's no other questions. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion will carry. Thank you. Item number 4, at this time I'd ask for a motion for approval of the following consent agenda items. Is there such a motion?
I'll make the motion. Consider the approval of the following consent agenda items.
Is there a second on that?
Second?
Trustee Berg, I'll second.
Diane, was there a question that you added to that? I'm sorry, I just heard that you made the motion, but then I heard you continue talking.
No, I think that was somebody else.
Okay, all right, so we have it properly moved and seconded. Madam Clerk, can you call these into the record, please?
Item A, consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-052, approving a driveway easement agreement between the Village of Tinley Park and Brendan and Nicole Fitzgerald, 6201 175th Street. Item B, consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-056, approving a contract extension between the Village of Tinley Park and True Green for the 2020 lawn treatment program. Item C, consider rejecting bids for Post 4, 8399 Brookside Glen Drive, lift station improvements. Item D, consider proclaiming recognition for Hope Montessori, Ms. Tracy Tiska, and staff for 20 years of service in the Village of Tinley Park. Item E, consider payment of impact fees through December 2019 in the amount of $1,850 to Bremen High School District 228. Item F, consider payment of outstanding bills in the amount of $2,636,047.70 as listed on the vendor board approval report stated May 8th, 2020, and May 15th, 2020.
Thank you, Clerk. If I can remind everyone to please mute your phone while you're not speaking. I'm receiving a little bit of feedback here, and I just want to assure that everybody can hear properly. Does any board member care to remove any of these consent agenda items from them? Let the record reflect there's none. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 5, Trustee Mueller.
I motion we consider adopting ordinance 2020-0-024, approving text amendments to the zoning ordinance to clarify recent text amendments for residential masonry requirements and short-term rentals.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. You can proceed, Mike.
Thank you. Recently, the village approved 2 text amendments to the zoning ordinance related to exterior masonry requirements on December 17, 2019, 2019-0-074, and for short-term rental uses on July 22nd, 2019. And that ordinance was 2019-0-035. During drafting and implementing the text changes, staff identified a few text corrections to ensure the intent behind these codes is clear. The report clarifies the text corrections for each. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on April 16, 2020, related to zoning ordinance changes and voted 8-0 to unanimously recommend approval of the proposed text amendments. This ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Trustee Mueller. Add a little humor. Are those Scrivener's errors or are those text changes?
Paula, I don't know if you're still on the line, but I believe they were text changes, all minor.
They are.
Take it easy. It was just a
They are
joke.
text changes. Oh, okay.
Any other comments from the board? Or any written comments, requests to speak telephonically been received today at all?
No comments.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 6, Trustee Mueller.
I motion we consider waiving first reading and adopting Resolution 2020-R-059, approving and accepting a final plat of consolidation for a certain property located at 7050 to 7068 171st Street.
Is there a second?
Oh, I'll second that, sir.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mike.
The petitioner, Thomas Chachi, contract purchaser, has requested final plat approval for consolidation of certain properties at 7050 to 7068 171st Street. The plat will consolidate the 2 separate lots into one parcel and allow for cross-access to Olympic Star property to the west. The Plan Commission reviewed the final plat of consolidation with a recommendation condition. The approval is subject to final engineering plan approval by the village engineer on May 7, 2020, and voted 9-0 to recommend its approval. This first reading is waived, and the resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Mike. Any questions from the board?
I have a question. This is Diane, Trustee Galante. Is Olympic Star, they're all on board and have okayed all this?
Does somebody from community development want to answer that?
I'd be glad to, but I could not hear her question. This is Paula.
Paula, I was asking if Olympic Star has, they're okay with all these proposed changes?
If who? I'm sorry.
Paula,
Olympic
if I can, Paula, it sounds like Trustee Galante is asking if Olympic Stars owners are on board with the cross access, which I would assume they are if we've got to this point. But do you have an answer to that?
The only cross-access we've been able to provide is on Catchy's property. Olympic Star has not provided their portion. Our hope is that they will work that out in the future. They did not attend the public hearing, but at this point, we do not have cross-access on Olympic Star's property. We only wanted to be proactive and provide it on Catchy's property.
I'll allow Mr. Catchy is on the line if there's any questions for him.
Diane, do you have anything further you'd like to ask Paula?
So Paula, what it says on here is the parcel and allow for cross-access to the Olympic Star property to the west. So is that happening?
The access easement that is placed on the plat that you're approving provides for access to go to the west once Olympic Star provides that. At this point, Olympic Star has not provided it. So it's there proactively in the future if we get an access easement off of the Olympic Star property. We have no right to require Olympic Star to revise their plat and grant an easement. We can only request.
So the subject property we're speaking of, we're not looking at the map here, but we're talking about the actual, the old commercial property that's directly east of Olympic Star, and then the vacant property west of Olympic Star, correct?
We're only talking about the property that is east of the Olympic Star.
So that has two addresses. It has 7050 and 7068. That property we're talking about. Is that my understanding?
Yes, it's being provided a range of addresses because they are going to have more than one tenant in the facility.
Okay. And then the idea would be that they're cross access into Olympic Star to the vacant property directly west of Olympic Star. That's the plan.
Well, right now, all we can do is do something and request and place it on the old sports station property, which we're calling the Catchy property. So that's where the access easement is placed now. He has approached Olympic Star. He's not been successful in getting a cross access, but you know, there's a big future ahead of us. So our hope is that someday, either the owner or future owners of Olympic Star will want to provide an access easement, and then they both can enjoy cross access to each other's property. But we have no way to force that right now.
No, I understand. So that property though, that the Catchy property is limited because of parking currently, correct? So the uses there are going to be limited.
Right, but they're removing about a third of the building.
So they're removing the back of the building so they can build parking, I presume?
Nope.
No, they're removing the eastern third of the building. It's a double barrel roof, if you've ever noticed.
Mm-hmm.
So they're removing the easternmost barrel roof area. And so is there not, I guess we don't put the site plans up in there anymore, but there's in your packet, there's a site plan that shows you what the future site plan is. And what we've done is greatly improve the parking situation on that property, not only greatly improve the aesthetics and the ability to use that building, but the entrances will all be facing east. And like I said, a good third of the building has been removed, and that's the easternmost portion of that building that's been removed. And so there'll be additional parking placed as a consequence of that.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for community development, or if Mr. Catchy is still on the phone, is there any questions from the board?
Yeah, I did, Jake.
Go ahead.
Paula, correct me if I'm wrong. So all this is, if you read it, the way I'm understanding it, it's because they have two lots. We have to vote to give them cross-access because it's becoming one parcel to the Olympic Star property, not through, it's to it, because we're combining two lots. That's all we're doing here, correct?
Perfectly said, yes.
Thank you.
we always require, when we enter a situation like this and there are multiple lots, just as a matter of course, we require those to be consolidated.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. Appreciate it.
Is there anything else? Were there any written comments or requests to speak telephonically regarding this item?
Attorney O'Grady, no.
Thank you. There's nothing else. This is for waiver of first reading and eligible for adoption. Please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thanks. Thank you. Item 7, Trustee Miller.
I motion we consider waiving first reading and adopting ordinance 2020-0-026, granting a special use to allow installation of a second-floor apartment on an existing commercial structure at 7050 and 7068 171st Street.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Bill. The petitioner, Thomas Cashy, is requesting a special use permit to allow construction of a second-floor apartment. The apartment is part of a property's overall redevelopment, most recently occupied by Sports Station, and will be located above the principal commercial use. The property is located at 7050 to 7068 171st Street in the B3 General Business and Commercial Zoning District. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on May 7, 2020, and voted 9-0 to unanimously recommend approval of the special use permit in accordance with the plans as listed in the listed reviewed plans and finding of fact in the May 7, 2020 staff report. If the first reading is waived, this ordinance is eligible for adoption tonight.
Thank you, Mike. Any comments on the board? Any comments or requests to speak telephonically?
Attorney O'Grady, no.
Thank you. Again, this is a waiver of first reading and eligible for adoption. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 8, Trustee Mueller.
I motion we consider waiving first reading and adopting ordinance 2020-0-027, granting variations from the zoning ordinance for a certain property located at 7050 to 7068 171st Street.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Go
Bill.
ahead.
The petitioner, Thomas Cashy, is seeking 6 variations related to parking, front yard setback, exterior materials, and signage as part of his proposal to redevelop the property located at 7050 to 7068 171st Street for a mixed-use commercial property with approximately 12,000 square feet of commercial space and a second-floor, one-bedroom apartment. All the requested variations are existing non-conforming situations, and many have been mitigated upon the greatest extent feasible. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on May 7, 2020, and voted 9-0 to recommend approval of the 6 variations and adopt the findings of fact in accordance with the plans as listed in the listed reviewed plans and finding of fact in the May 7, 2020 staff report. If first reading is waived, this ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Are there any comments from the board? Any comments or requests to speak telephonically?
Attorney O'Grady, there are no requests.
This is for a waiver of first reading, eligible for adoption. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 9, Trustee Mueller.
I move we consider waiving first reading and adopting ordinance 2020-0-028, amending section 5.c.11, temporary uses of the Tinley Park zoning ordinance.
Second.
Thank you. Go ahead.
The purpose of this amendment is to allow for warehouse distribution uses in B3, General Business and Commercial District, with certain conditions. The Plan Commission unanimously recommended the text amendment for approval 9-0. This first reading is waived. This ordinance is eligible, if this first reading is waived, this ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thank you. Any comments on the board? I assume, is this part of the two previous items?
This is part of the next two items. This is for Pete's.
Were there any other comments from the board? Any comments from the public via telephonically?
Attorney O'Grady, no.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
The motion will carry. Thank you. Item 10, Trustee Mueller.
I motion we consider approving a temporary use permit for a warehouse distribution use for the property located at 16300 Harlem Avenue and 163rd and Harlem Avenue, LLC Pete's Fresh Market.
Second?
Is there a second? Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Glatz. Pete's Fresh Market, on behalf of 163rd and Harlem LLC, has applied for a temporary use permit for warehouse distribution in the former Kmart building. The term of the permit is for 6 months and includes conditions as outlined in the staff memo. Please consider approving a temporary use permit for warehouse distribution use for the property located at 16300 Harlem Avenue and 163rd and Harlem LLC, aka Pete's Fresh Market.
Thank you, Trustee Mueller. Are there any comments from the board? Any written or comments or requests to speak telephonically regarding item 10?
No.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes. Yes.
Trustee Mueller? Are you there?
Yes.
Sorry, there must be an issue with the mute here. It wasn't going off. Item 11, you're up, Trustee Mueller.
I motion we consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-061, supporting the filing of a Class 7B Cook County Real Property Assessment Reclassification application for property located at 16300 Harlem Avenue by 163rd and Harlem LLC for purposes of constructing a Pete's Fresh Market.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second?
Thank you. Go ahead, Mike.
Thank you. This resolution provides support for the Cook County Class 7B incentive, which reduces the tax assessment ratio for the property at 16300 Harlem from 25% to 10% of market value for 10 years and is renewable. The Class 7B incentive of the Cook County Real Property Assessment Classification Ordinance is intended to encourage in areas determined to be in need of commercial development, commercial projects with total development costs exclusive of land over $2 million, which would not be economically feasible without the incentive. The proposed development of the property includes new construction of approximately 117,000 square feet for a Pete's Fresh Market and other commercial uses. The project also includes the renovation of the former Kmart store, which will include approximately 33,400 square feet of additional commercial uses and 158,000 square feet of warehouse distribution space in the existing former Kmart structure. The resolution includes an incentive agreement that must be executed prior to final execution of the resolution for reclassification. This agreement addresses the proposed schedule and site plan for the property. This project meets the goals and objectives for encouraging redevelopment in Tinley Park as set forth by the Economic and Commercial Commission and the Village Board of Trustees. The ECC unanimously recommended this resolution for approval at its May 11, 2020 meeting. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Trustee Mueller. Are there any comments from the board?
Yeah, I do, Jake.
Go ahead, Trustee Glatz.
Thank you. Thanks for reading this, Mike. I just want to add, we're very lucky, I believe, to have Pete's coming here. I'm looking forward to have them be a part of our community. We will potentially be going from an empty building to 150,000 square feet of non-vacant property now. So thanks to staff for working on this and putting it together. Thanks, Jake.
Thank you. Any other comments from the board? Very good. Were there any written comments or requests to speak telephonically?
No.
Thank you, Counselor. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
The motion will carry. Thank you very much. Item 12, Trustee Mueller.
I motion we consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-062, supporting the filing of a Class 6B Cook County Real Property Assessment Reclassification Application for property located at 16300 Harlem Avenue by 163rd and Harlem LLC for purposes of constructing a Pete's Fresh Market.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Bill. Go ahead, Trustee Mueller.
This resolution provides support for the Cook County Class 6B incentive, which reduces the tax assessment ratio for the property at 16300 Harlem from 25 to 10% of market value for 10 years. Class 6B classification is designed to encourage industrial development throughout Cook County by offering a real estate tax incentive for development of new industrial facilities, the rehabilitation of existing industrial structures, and the industrial reutilization of abandoned buildings. The proposed project includes the renovation of the former vacant Kmart store for an approximately 158,000 square feet of warehouse distribution space. The applicant, 163rd and Harlem LLC, on behalf of Pete's Fresh Market, is also proposing to construct a new building of approximately 117,000 square feet for a Pete's Fresh Market and other commercial uses. The project will also include renovation of 33,400 square feet for additional commercial uses at the east end of the vacant former Kmart store. The resolution includes an incentive agreement that must be executed prior to final execution of the resolution for reclassification. This agreement addresses the proposed schedule and site plan for the property. This project meets the goals and objectives for encouraging redevelopment in Tinley Park as set forth by the Economic and Commercial Commission and the Village Board of Trustees. The ECC unanimously recommended the resolution for approval at its May 11, 2020 meeting. This ordinance is eligible for adoption today.
Thank you, Trustee Mueller. Are there any comments from the board? Any written comments, telephonic comments, fax comments, email comments, any other electronic comments?
No.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion will carry. Thank you. Item 13, Trustee Mueller.
I motion we consider waiving first reading and adopting Resolution 2020-R-063, creating the Village of Tinley Park non-tax increment financing redevelopment grant.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you.
The Village of Tinley Park is committed to assuring the long-term viability of the community by encouraging private investments in sites throughout the community that need significant redevelopment. Many of these sites do not fall within area covered by our existing Oak Park Avenue grant program, a TIF district, Cook County Special Designated Area, or meet other criteria to be eligible for traditional incentive agreements. The proposed redevelopment grant program will provide $90,000 for the redevelopment of eligible sites through a 50-50 matching grant. The minimum grant will be $10,000 and the maximum will be $30,000. The Economic and Commercial Commission unanimously recommended it to the Village Board for approval at its May 11, 2020. And we had a discussion about this item at the Community of the Whole meeting before this meeting. If first reading is waived, this resolution is eligible for adoption tonight.
Thank you, Mike. Any comments from the board? Any comments written or telephonically received?
Attorney O'Grady, no.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes?
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 14, Trustee Box.
I'd like to make a motion to consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-053, approving a job order contract between the Village of Tinley Park and F.H. Passion, S.N. Nielsen and Associates for the 80th Avenue train station staircases, railings, concrete, landscaping, and paver replacement repairs.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Consider awarding a contract to F.H. Passion in the amount of $803,398.47. This item was discussed at the Committee of the Whole held prior to this meeting. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you. Are there any comments? Any written comments or telephonic comments?
No.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion will carry. Thank you. Item 15, Trustee Glass.
I'd like to make a motion, consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-054, approving the extension of the awarded contract between the Village of Tinley Park and Christie Weber Landscape for the Village's 2020 Landscape Bed Maintenance Program.
I'll second the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Consider awarding
Thank you. Go ahead.
Consider awarding a contract extension to Christie Weber Landscape in the amount not to exceed $157,360.25 for the Village's 2020 Landscape Bed Maintenance Program. This item was discussed at the Committee of the Whole that preceded this meeting. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you. Any comments from the board? Any comments that were written or received telephonically?
No.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes?
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 16, Trustee Watts.
I'd like to make a motion, consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-055, approving the extension of the awarded contract between the Village of Tinley Park and Ridge Landscape Services for the Village's 2020 mowing program.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
I'll second that motion.
Consider awarding
Thank you. Go ahead.
Consider awarding a contract extension to Ridge Landscape Services LLC in the amount not to exceed $189,324.96 for the Village's 2020 mowing program. The item was discussed at the Committee of the Whole that preceded this meeting. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you. Any comments from the board? Any written comments or telephonic comments?
No.
No, there's not. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes?
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 17, Trustee Glatz.
Consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-057, approving a contract extension between the Village of Tinley Park and Cardinal, Inc. for the Village's 2020 Naturalized Stormwater Areas Maintenance.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Consider awarding a contract extension to Cardinal, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $189,500 for the Village's 2020 Naturalized Stormwater Areas Maintenance Program. This item was discussed at the Committee of the Whole that preceded this meeting. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank Thank you. Any comments from the board? Any written comments or requests to speak?
No.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion will carry. Thank you. Item 18, at this time, I'd ask for a motion to consider adopting ordinance 2020-0-023 of the Tinley Park Municipal Code for hours amending permitted liquor sale hours on Sunday for golf courses. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to consider adopting ordinance 2020-0-023, amending Title 11, Chapter 112, Section 21 of the Tinley Park Municipal Code, amending permitted liquor sale hours on Sundays for golf courses.
Been properly moved. Is there a second?
I will second that motion. Mr. O'Grady, is this as amended during the committee of the whole meeting?
Yes, to be clear, what we're motion to approve is the amendment that said that from 9 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So the ordinance that you're voting on will have liquor sales from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Perfect. Thank you for the clarification.
So it's been properly moved as amended in the committee of the whole. It's been properly moved and seconded. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you. Pardon me, I lost my way here on the piece of paper I'm reading from. As Liquor Commissioner, I am seeking from the board to approve the amended Section 21A of the Alcoholic Beverage Ordinance to permit the sale of alcoholic beverages between the hours of, as mentioned earlier, 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. at golf courses on Sunday. This item was discussed previous to this meeting at the Committee of the Whole and was discussed and moved from 9 to 8. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Any written comments or requests to speak telephonically regarding this item?
No.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Abstain.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion will carry. Thank you. Item 19, Trustee Brady.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to consider adopting Resolution 2020 R064, approving a collective bargaining agreement with the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 150.
For a second.
I'll second the motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Go ahead, Bill.
The village's previous collective bargaining agreement with Local 150 expired on April 30th of 2018. Ongoing negotiations have successfully reached the agreement, which proposed a 4-year term expiring in 2021. The agreement covers all major terms and conditions of employment for covered employees and is similar to the existing agreement. Highlights of the proposed agreement include annual cost of living adjustment, increases of 2.5% for 2018 and 19, clarification of hiring process, clarification of snow and ice staffing procedure, and overall of overtime allocation system, the expanded residency program, and removal of the fair share language considering U.S. court decision prohibiting practice. Both parties will reconvene to negotiate in December of 2020. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Bill. Any comments from the board? Any written comments or requests to speak telephonically?
No.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Out of abundance of caution, I have recused myself. My recusal is posted on the village website under the clerk's office. Thank you.
Trustee Mueller.
Abstain.
Yes.
Got it.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 20, trustee Brady.
Consider Resolution 2020-0058, allowing the engagement letter with Walsh Law Group, PC, for legal services.
I'll second.
Is there a second?
I'll second Walsh Law Group.
Go ahead, Bill.
All right. Patrick Walsh has been working for the village for several months under the $20,000 authority of the village manager. As the total expenses get closer to that authority, it is necessary for the board to ratify the contract that was signed by the village manager. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Very good. Thank you. Any comments from the board?
Jake, this is trustee Galante. I'm, just to give a, I'm going to be voting, how I'm going to be voting on this. I did try to come in here I wanted to listen to some executive sessions, tapes, but it seems that procedure had changed, and I wasn't willing to sit in a public area to listen to them, so I'm not comfortable voting anything but no on this, because I wasn't able to hear what I wanted to hear.
This is Trustee Berg, Mayor Vandenberg. I'm also concerned about the vote that was taken during executive session, so I'm not sure where I'm at on this one either. Thank you.
Any other comments from the board? I would just note that I have recused myself from this conversation regarding the Walsh Law Group and resident Steve Eberhardt. So just for the record, don't believe that it will come to my vote, but if it does, I have recused myself and will abstain. There's no other comments from the board. We'll move on. Were there any written comments or requests to speak telephonically?
Attorney O'Grady, no.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
No.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
No.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion will carry 4-2. Item 21, receive comments from staff. Are there any comments from the staff this evening?
Mayor Vandenberg, it's Chief Reader.
Go ahead, Chief.
I just would like to take a quick moment to welcome 5 probationary certified firefighters who began their career with the Tinley Park Fire Department last week. Matthew Blackmore, Anthony Figueroa, Derek Gill, Keith Miller, and Trevor Prozak joined us early last week to begin their careers at the fire department. So I just like to welcome them and thank HR and everybody involved in getting them through the doors for us, and we look forward to having them with us for many years to come. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chief. Is there anything else from the staff?
Mayor Vandenberg, this is John Urbanski.
Go ahead, John.
Yes, I'd just like to thank all of my coworkers in celebrating another annual Public Works Week. We got to celebrate this by the lovely entry of the storm we received Sunday, and I appreciate all my employees' hard work and dedication to the village of Tinley Park.
Thanks, John. Anything else from staff?
Mayor Vandenberg, this is Donna Framke.
Go ahead, Donna.
I would just like to remind everybody, it's possible to tune in on Monday, May 25th, to the first virtual Memorial Day ceremony that will be held at the Patrick Ray Plaza at 10 a.m. on Memorial Day.
Yes, thank you. Anything else from staff? Nothing else from staff. We'll go on to item 22, receive comments from the board. Any comments from the board this evening?
Yeah, Mayor Vandenberg, this is Trustee Brennan. I'd like to make a comment.
Go ahead, Bill.
I just want to recognize all of our EMS providers here in the village. This is Emergency Medical Services Week, and a lot of these individuals often don't receive enough credit for the jobs that they do, and I want to take a moment to recognize them, all the EMTs and paramedics in the village, and emergency professionals, our emergency medical professionals everywhere. So thank you for all their services to the village and our community. So I just wanted to put that out there for everyone to, if you see anyone in the community, please extend them a thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Anything else from the board this evening?
Yes, I'd like to make a comment. This is Trustee Brady. Donna mentioned it about Monday being Memorial Day weekend coming up. Sometimes it gets blurred, but this is for those who have died in the service of our country. Back in the day, it used to be called Decoration Day in my youth, and now we've changed it to Memorial Day. And I'd just like to remind everybody to honor those that gave the ultimate sacrifice of their life and honor them in Memorial Day. And the second thing, I'd like to remind everybody that on Friday, the Orland Township will be having their drive-through food pantry again for those that have been affected by this pandemic, as it has hit the whole world. We'll be providing food for those who have been laid off, lost their job, be it at a restaurant or bar or whatever it might be, where they need some help. And the township will be there. Last 2 weeks ago, we did over 500 people, and we're ready for more this week as well. And on another note, next weekend, the 29th, we're having a drive-through drop-off food to provide food for our food pantry for those that we normally take care of every week at the township. But that donations that people drop off for is specifically for our normal patrons, and that's filled up by the donations of very kind and giving people. They can both take money, they'll take checks, they'll take gift cards, as well as, of course, food products. So we want to thank them for bringing those in to help fill our shelves. And this food for the people that are coming in because of the pandemic and need help is being provided for by the township. So we encourage everybody, it's from 10 until 2 this Friday. Thank you.
If there's no other questions from the board, we'll move on to item 23.
I did, Jake.
Sorry, I had a
Receive comments from the public?
Jake, you're moving too fast. Board members still have to
Oh,
speak.
sorry. Go ahead, Trustee Mueller.
Sorry about that. I just wanted to mention, I know we had the unfortunate cancellation of the public hearing this today regarding the Marriott property. And I just wanted to say that, the village staff did an outstanding job working tirelessly last week to try to keep that project going. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, the Marriott was looking at the hospitality industry and the landscape over the next several years and wasn't able to make a determination that this project fully made sense the way it was, if there was going to be changes to the project. So unfortunately, they had to kind of stop their plans for right now as they get through this rather turbulent time in the hospitality industry. I just want to say they still own the property. They still intend to build a hotel at that particular property. They're just kind of riding out this storm like many of the rest of us and waiting for an opportunity to build the right product here in Tinley Park. So I thank the community development staff for all their work on this, and eventually we look forward to seeing that project move forward.
Thanks, Mike, for the update on that.
I had something to say, Jake.
Are there any other comments from the board? Go ahead.
Thank you. I just want to thank the board. I'm glad they finally approved the Local 150 contract. I think it was delayed way too long. It should have been settled many years ago, in my opinion. I think we need to strategically, safely, and slowly open up our economy. And also, I just want to thank staff for working so hard on all the different alternatives for our village. I know a lot of people don't see what they're working on, but just to let everyone know that that's all they work on all day and discuss on how we could get through this. So thank you to everyone that's working on this from staff.
Jake, can I make a comment too? It's actually a question.
Go ahead. Sure, Diane.
Just a couple things. One, yeah, I want to definitely appreciate, thank you for all the staff that is, especially first responders, everybody who's out there having to continue to work. I know how difficult it is, but I wanted to find out, with us moving forward, hopefully closer to opening back up, is the village able to help with masks for the public? Is there anything we can do for that? And seeing the news with the assisted livings and our senior living facilities, is there anything we can do with our code to help enforce stricter responsibilities on them for safety? With what we learned from this.
Yeah, I'll answer part of that question. As it relates to the assisted living and nursing centers, there is a state law that requires them to review their emergency plans with the village. We have done that with some of the facilities in town here. We've done very well with the 4 main facilities here. They have done extremely well with PPE. We've been providing them PPE through the state and the county. They've been very responsive to our assistance. We talk to them almost twice, 2 or 3 times a week. They come and pick up PPE once a week. So we're in constant contact with them, and the impact in our area at these facilities has been very minimal, and that's been to the dedicated staff that they've had there. But there are measures in place, and I would venture to guess in the future that the state will probably clamp down even further on the reviews of their emergency plans and how they operate.
And do we think we could have any kind of masks available or a way for people to get them? Just seems like it was so difficult. The prices were being regulated when this first happened, and I wonder now when people are going to start going back and needing to have masks.
Yeah, what we've seen is there are a lot of different stores that are offering these masks. You go into a lot of just convenient or gas stations and they're selling the cloth masks. We've been able to provide masks to our senior population here with the group that Tim Janicek, Nancy O'Connor, Trustee Glocks, Mayor Vandenberg, that have assisted with this organization. We've been providing masks to seniors almost daily. So if any seniors do need a mask, they reach out to our COVID hotline or email or call us, and we usually provide a mask within 24 hours.
Great, thank you.
If I could add to that, Pat, also the Orland Township is mailing out those to the seniors that are requesting it as well. And you might notice the blue ribbons around the neighborhood and that is to go along and help with and support all of the first responders, hospitals, nurses, doctors, et cetera, let alone our normal police and fire department, EMTs. That's available too. The township provides 6 feet of ribbon that you can wrap around your tree, your light post, or whatever it is. And you can come by and pick those up. We have a secured area to pick those up at, and masks are being mailed out to people who need them.
Bill, you getting paid by the township to do their advertising this evening?
No, I'm trying to make sure that the citizens all know what services are available.
You're doing a fine job, sir. Keep it up.
Trying to.
Are there any other comments from the board? I think everybody had an opportunity to speak. So we'll move on to item 23, receive comments from the public. Were there any written comments or requests to speak telephonically this evening?
Mayor Vandenberg, this is Attorney O'Grady. Yes, we had one request for Mr. Stephen Everhard to speak on agenda item 23, so we will call him now.
Okay, I'm dialing him up now.
Counselor?
Yes, sir.
Counselor?
Yes.
Our public
Hold on,
comment
Hold on 1 minute. We got you here.
procedures are still in play here, right?
The 3 minutes and 3 minutes.
Thank you.
All right, I got Mr. Eberhard on the phone. Mr. Eberhard, go ahead.
And I would like to address a point of order, Mr. Mayor, first, if I might, before you start the clock rolling on the time.
Mr. Everhart, go ahead with your comment this evening, please.
I'm sorry, the connection is really bad, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to address a point of order with regard to that 3 minutes first.
Jake, Mayor, can you hear Mr. Eberhard?
I can. It's extremely faint. Perhaps somebody in the room can answer the question directly. I'm getting just bits and pieces of what he said.
We moved him closer to the speaker here, so maybe that will help.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to
Yeah, go ahead. Let's try that again.
Is he on speaker?
Yes. Try that again, Steve.
Is your volume up?
Mr. Or before you start calculating my time, I'd like to address a point of order with regard to the 3-minute rule first.
Okay, go ahead, Steve.
I don't know if you have read the correspondence that I forwarded with regard to the temporary rules. I think that they're not properly drawn with regard to this cutting back to the 3 minutes from the usual 6. That said, I do not want to give up the objection that I've been making, but if it needs this motion that you now say I need, I'm asking for the 6 minutes. I won't take that, I don't believe, but I'm asking for the 6, not the 3.
I appreciate your objection this evening. However, the village council has instructed us that it is 3 minutes, so we were going to conduct our meeting that way this evening. So if you could proceed with your 3 minutes of comment.
So you're denying a motion under the temporary rules to have the additional 3 minutes?
Jacob, could we start public comment?
I am.
All right. Thou shalt not bear false witness is not only a principle of every world religion, but a mandate of Illinois law. In case number 18-OP-50387, Michael Glotz asked the judge to enter an order that would ban a citizen from entering the village hall to prevent him from speaking at board meetings. The defense attorney argued to the judge, Mr. Glotz, for some reason, there is an indignant streak to my client appearing at board meetings. I've never seen such gall that someone has, an elected official, for somebody comes to meetings. After listening to Glotz testify under oath, the judge denied Glotz's request, ruling, I did not find your client was credible in his testimony. That's a tempered judicial way of saying Glotz lied. Case number 17L65067, the issue of Glotz lying in the OP case came up, and Glotz's lawyer explained to the judge that he had represented Glotz in a hearing down the hall. It didn't go our way. Glotz's lawyer acknowledged Glotz lying under oath. Case number 19CD090, the State Board of Elections ordered Glotz to amend 2 of his campaign finance disclosure reports. The Board of Elections found that Glotz misreported the proper beneficiaries of campaign funds he spent to pay a lawyer. Twice under oath, Glotz said he was the beneficiary, when in fact the beneficiaries were the people who had filed objections to the nominating petitions of the independent candidates in the 2019 election. Glotz didn't want to report publicly who those people were. Why? Because Patricia Hamilton is Mr. Brennan's mother-in-law, Kimberly Mugavero is Mr. Mueller's sister, and Christopher Mugavero is Mueller's brother-in-law. On September 14, 2018, Mr. Wasson...
Mr. Eberhard, I'd pause you for a moment. Please keep all of your comments directed to board members. We are not getting personal here. We're not going after people's family. I'll allow you 15 seconds additional because of my interruption.
I'm addressing the board, and with all due respect, Mr. Mayor, I am again saying, this is open public comment, and I have a right to address open public comment under the First Amendment of the Constitution.
And I understand that, and I'm asking you to keep it. I'm asking you to keep it to the village board members. Please do not attack people's personal family members.
This is the
Let's be respectful there.
Actions that they took. On September 14th, 2018, Mr. Wasik, a lawyer that represented a company that had a contract with the village, sent a cease and desist letter to Mr. Niemeyer threatening a lawsuit. The letter explained BKD's lack of due diligence and its improper shoddy investigation and reckless disregard for the truth that resulted in BKD's statements and pay-to-play implications being defamatory. Mr. Wasik made clear where all the implications came from. He wrote, instead, on information and belief, BKD chose to rely on information it received from trustee Michael Glatz. On information
3
and
minutes
belief,
is up.
Glatz may have given BKD documents pertaining to the aforementioned RFQ. Once again, BKD failed to investigate the source of these documents, or whether Glatz had a political agenda of his own, and if so,
Mr.
reasons for
Point
that
of order is
agenda,
3 minutes
and
is way
instead,
past.
accepting as true all of the information
Jake,
provided by
I called the point of order, Jake.
Please stop the clock. Is there a time remaining on the commenters' allowed time?
No, he's about 25 seconds, 30 past.
Well, thank you for bringing it to my attention. I did not hear a buzzer. I did allow the the public comment to extend 15 seconds as I suggested. So that would be the end of the comment.
Okay, Did
Did I miss something? Was there a buzzer? I didn't hear a buzzer go off. So
It wasn't very loud, so.
okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. Are there any other telephonic comments this evening?
Mr. Mayor, this is Attorney O'Grady. There are no other public comments.
Very good. We'll move on to item 24 then. This time I'd ask for a motion to adjourn to executive session. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion to adjourn to executive session.
And is there a second?
Second.
We'll be adjourning into executive session to discuss the following: the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or a legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. It's been moved and seconded. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
That motion will carry.
This
We will
conference
be
is no
adjourning
longer being
into
recorded.
adjourning to executive session at 8:39 p.m. I do not believe we are going to be exiting executive session with anything for the public, so that will conclude our meeting this evening. Thank you.